All right, guys, so I am now on checker understanding number 3. This is page 192. So you will factor using a trinomial pattern. How does that work? Let's look at this one. So x squared plus 5x minus 24. What two numbers multiply to negative 24 and add up to 5? So that would be your AC value is equal to negative 20, negative 24. Your B value is 5. So the two numbers that you're looking for would be 8 and negative 3. All right. So your factors would be x plus 8, x minus 3. That's easy. Okay. This is the one that would really require your attention. Letter B, you're looking at a trinomial that also has a binomial inside each term. Okay. Then do not be alarmed by this. There is an easy way to do it. In Math 10, I was hoping that you guys would have done something like a substitution of terms. All right. If not, that is okay. I will show you how it is done. As you look at this, it appears to be a very complicated expression. But there is a way to make it simpler. What if we substitute something for this? Now, guys, ask yourself this. If I am able to turn this into something like this, would you say that this expression is easier to factor? I think we would agree on that, right? Because this one is something that we are familiar with. All right. So, excuse me. What I intended to do was I will let y, I will create another variable y, which would be equal to x minus 6. By doing that, I am able to get rid of this x minus 6 squared and turn it into just y squared right here. And this x minus 6 here and turn it into just a y. Does that make sense? That's what I am trying to do. So as I do this substitution, you will notice that, okay, all three terms are even. I can factor out the 2. That would be y squared plus 5y minus 24. And again, I think by now you would already have that skill wherein you are looking at two numbers that will multiply to negative 24 and add to 5. Now, guys, I don't know if you noticed that it looks like it is exactly the same as letter A, except that this time, all right, you have a y instead of an x. Look at this. Doesn't this trinomial look the same as, or appear to be the same as this one, except for the variable, the x is in A, while in letter B, it's a y. That means they should have the same answer, right? They should have the same numbers to work with. So I think if we're going to factor this, we could just have y plus 8 times y minus 3. All right. Now, remember that even though we have been able to factor, we have to go back to the fact that the original expression has an x and not a y. So now what we're going to do is we're going to replace these two y's with the value that we did in the substitution, which is x minus 6. So take a look at what I'm going to do. The y becomes x minus 6. So this y became x minus 6. Remember, there's a plus 8. All right? Because of this one. While the other one, the other binomial would be x minus 6 because of this y. And minus 3 because of the minus 3 here. And then let's just simplify. So that would be 2 times x plus 2 times x minus 9. All right. So once again, if that is sort of confusing, please stop the video, pause it, and then rewind and watch it again. All right. We go to the last one. So for this one, guys, it's pretty much the same as the previous example. You have a binomial here and a binomial here. Let's just do substitution again. You can use y, you can use z, whatever. All right. So me, whenever I'm working with x's and then I want to use or do substitution, I just use y. All right. So in this case, I will just let y be equal to 2x plus 5. All right. So I am able to turn this expression into a new one, which would be 3y squared. Where did the y squared come from? I took out the 2x plus 5 because I substituted it here. It becomes a y, and it has an exponent of 2. Plus 10 what? Yes, if you're thinking it's 10y, you got it right. Minus 8. So this is all we have to factor. And then once we are able to factor this, just bring back um, the substitution of y, and we simplify. Okay, so let's take a look. So to factor this, it would be our AC value, which would be 3 times negative 8, and that would be negative 24, and our B value is equal to 10. So we are looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 24 and add to positive 10. One is positive, one is negative, obviously, because they multiply to a negative number. What two numbers are 10 away from each other? That would be 12 and 2. And which one would be positive? The 12 is positive. The negative is 2. All right. And then what? So what we are going to do is we are going to replace the middle term, the 10y, this middle term, with these two numbers. You got it? So let's see. 3y squared plus 10y minus 8 becomes 3y squared plus 12y minus 2y minus 8. And we are again factoring the first two terms. And I think a common term would be 3y, and you have y plus 4. And if you're doing this correctly, the next binomial you will have would be a y plus 4 again. Now, what would be the number out here so that when you multiply this number by y, it will give you negative 2y. And I hope you notice that, oh, that's a negative 2. Let's quickly check. Negative 2 times y, negative 2y. So that's good. Negative 2 times 4, that's negative 8. That's good. Okay. So what are the factors? Excuse me. So that would be y plus 4 is factored out. And that's like these two are gone. And then what is left would be 3y minus 2. Word of caution again, we are not done yet because the original expression had an x, not a y. So let's go back to our substitution. All right. Since y is equal to, what is the substitution that we did? Right here. 2x plus 5. Since y equals 2x plus 5, if we are going to bring back the substitution that we did, so y plus 4, this one now becomes 2x plus 5 plus 4, right? Times 3 times y, which is 2x plus 5. Now, guys, notice that I put a bracket, another bracket again, after the 3. Because if you don't, you might make the mistake of just multiplying the 3 by the 2x and not the positive 5. Remember, that 3 is multiplied by the y, so that 3 must be multiplied to this whole thing, and then minus 2 at the end. All right? So let us simplify. 2x plus 9. This is 6x plus 15, and that is when I did this distributive property, minus 2. Simplifying one more time, I think this is the last step. 2x plus 9 times 6x plus 13. Okay, 2x plus 9 times 6x plus 13. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching. Do the practice question.